Hello my viewers and welcome to my channel. I'm back with another interesting video. If you are new here, please subscribe, like and comment because you're always going to find our videos intriguing. Now, in today's video, I have this interesting clip of a white South African lady based in the USA who has a concern on South Africans and entitlements, especially those of color. Now, she shares her experience with people on how this palm color man treated her and the receptionist in USA. This has sparked a lot of talk in the sense that some are now thinking or calling this exported R to the cyst. You know what I'm talking about, guys. Well, let's take a look at these two clips and tell me what you think about them because they have something in common. Let's check them out.
So I've got a very specific opinion about something. It's not even specific, but I feel like I'm very entitled to it because it comes from a place of non-bias. What the fuck is wrong with South Africans and entitlement? Like, I'm South African and it's so embarrassing when I see them acting this way. I work in the events industry and I've just hopped in my car from a very big show that we are part of. We've got lots of clients here and all of my clients are absolutely amazing. And I was just having a chat to one of the reception girls at the registration desk and the South African man comes up and, mind you, we're mid-conversation. He didn't say excuse me, he just barges over. Excuse me, I need to talk to the person that's going to help me solve all my problems. And we're like, okay. My staff member has just called me saying your security won't let him into the car park because he doesn't have his pass. And all the info packed to every single vendor for the show, you get told very specifically that your staff pass is how you get into the staff car park. Without it, you won't get access because then every man and his dog will be trying to use that car park. And so this reception girl is really lovely and she explains it to him. And he goes, but how's he meant to get in if he doesn't have his pass? I've got his pass. And the girl says, well, you'll have to go meet him at the gate and then you can, but it's raining. I can't go outside in the rain. Like, dude, I've literally been running in the rain all fucking day to keep my clients happy. This is how I look. Like, sometimes you just have to do these things. And he just kept going on and on and on. And eventually he made it her fault. He's like, you need to organize your shows better. This is just not good enough. And stormed off in the end. And honestly, I just want to like apologize on behalf of all South Africans that we're not all like that. I'm just actually that embarrassed and I'm stoked that my accent's Kiwi. People don't know I'm South African until I tell them I am. So on behalf of South Africans, Kiwis, I'm so sorry. You guys have good manners. You're respectful. That's not it. And I promise we're not all like that.
You know, you've got those white South Africans that think that they're doing South Africa a favor by staying here, even though they hate their fellow South Africans, and also blame everything, their whole life, misfortune on black people. But the truth is, those that cannot leave yet don't have much skills, also don't have the money to leave. Okay, it's not because they love South Africa. They'd skedaddle as quick as possible. But the racist ones that do have money and a bit of skills, they get to go overseas. Okay, so they immigrate and everyone freaks out about our immigration. But let me give you just an example of the type of people that immigrate regarding race. So this was a tweet that started off a thread of comments from people across the world. And it's about white South Africans that get to other countries. This is, for instance, West Auckland, New Zealand, and can't shut up or hide their racism when they get there. They think if they see a white person there that they can be as racist as what they are in South Africa. Here are a few responses to this person's thread. Only white South Africans could find a new country that none of us knew existed and piss off everybody there shortly after arriving. I remember driving through the Free State near Bloemfontein and stopping in some small town bar for some food. Got chatting to Afrikaans bloke behind a bar and asked him the population of the town. About 500 whites was the reply. Actually made me gasp. This guy's from the UK. I've never met a white South African who wasn't like this. My partner is from South Africa, white, but not Afrikaans, which is apparently worth distinguishing. And it's got to the point where he doesn't tell people he's South African because people assume things. Why are so many of them like that? And without shame. Oh, Jesus. You should hear them over here in Oz in beachside beer gardens complaining about the servant problem. God give me strength. I worked as a white South African. First day of work, Nelson Mandela had died the day before. Ensuing ensuing conversation. Me, it's sad about Nelson Mandela crying. Her, he was a terrorist. I lived in Browns Bay, which is South Africa's stronghold. You will not believe the blatant racism in the local Facebook pages. And their comment section goes on. And the thing is that it's white people talking about South Africa's white people. It is crazy.
Now, we all have seen that video and how the palm color lady was talking about how some white South Africans feel they are doing South Africa a favor by staying there, and how they like blame every misfortune on our black South African brothers and sisters. Now, we all know how South Africans are united and how they just get when someone provokes one of theirs. Like we saw that with the story of the South African artist Tyler. So you obviously know how this is going to get. So if you want to hear more, then come with me as we watch these stitched videos. Make sure to watch this video to the end and see you right after this video clips.
South Africans and entitlement.
So I think it's safe to say that we all know why it is that she used South Africans and did not single out a specific race or person. But we also know that it's probably like Steve or Peter or something. We know that, right? But I find it very interesting that you guys have now gone and you have now exported your racism to other countries. I don't think that it's correct that you guys are now embarrassing us on a global scale. Like, I know that it's been happening. I don't think we all know to which extent. Maar kan julle ons nie skande steek in ander countries nie? Can you at least keep your racism here where we can all deal with you because we at least understand?
Wrong with South Africans and entitlement.
Hey everyone, so just to stitch this video and I would just like to point out and share my opinion to why I believe that videos like this are really unnecessary. They share a bad vibe and just something that's really not cool to make. Because this lady, if you're watching, I know at the end of your video you did say that you are South African too, and not all South Africans are like that, and you for some reason apologize on behalf of all of us for I don't know why, right? Now, this is what's wrong with videos like this. In your title, you generalized a whole nation. So your title is already misleading, right? I don't know what your intentions were, if it's for the likes or the views, but you generalized a whole nation because your title said South Africans. What's wrong with South Africans and their entitlements? There are millions, I think like 69 million South Africans. Are they all entitled? Right? I myself, I live in Thailand. I've been here for 11 years. I've met people from all over the world. This is exactly the same thing as saying that, oh, I've met an Australian who's on drugs. Now, I make a video saying like, what's wrong with Australians? They're drugs. Of course, it's just, can't you see how misleading and how just bad that is? Because I would generalize a whole nation of good people in there too to make a video because I want some views and likes for some reason, or just to, I don't think before I post it. Now, you told a story and you shared a story of your experience with one South African man. That's one man. Like, maybe share 2 or 3. I mean, that wouldn't even count for anything, but you shared your story of one man, about one man, right? So wouldn't it really make sense to have made a video then, rather saying that what is wrong with the entitlement of some people or some Karens, and then go on? But you have to brand it, regardless if you said you're from South Africa and your comments, because this is what happens. I look at the comments and I see all the negative comments people had. It's easy to go and make negative comments about Americans. It's easy to make negative comments about Thai people, about Chinese people, about Australians, New Zealand, anywhere in the world. If you go look for it, you can find it. There are people that are good people and there are bad people. For you to sit here and I don't know if you, like I said, I don't know if people are fishing for the likes or the views, or you're just not that smart to have realized that. Because this is not really something that's hard to understand. Except if you're like, I don't know what. But anyway, in my opinion, it's just my opinion, I feel that this video is really uncalled for and it shares something that's not needed in the world. Why do we need more, things like that in the world? Because it's exactly the same thing as saying like, all Muslims are terrorists because one guy blew up something, right? Or all black people are, thieves because one black guy stole a bicycle, right? Or all white people are racist because there was like one racist. Like, that's the same thing. These things are not necessary. It's, in my opinion, it's just plain stupid and just plain dumb. Anyway, no hate on you. I honestly don't know if your intentions were bad or what. I'm just putting this video out to share why I, in my opinion, think that videos like this are uncalled for. Hopefully hope you guys have a lovely day. Anyway, cheers, bye-bye.
They're doing South Africa a favor by staying.
There are racist white people and then there are South African racist white people, as Bianca just proved now. And as I say this, the shoe that fits is going to be up in my comment section, proving my point and proving her point.
That think that they're doing South Africa a favor by staying.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe that this gets to be my first TikTok video, but I love what Bianca has to say in this video. I think you should definitely go back and watch this video because it's worth it. It's hilarious and it's so true. And just a little bit of a disclaimer, I'm about to, as a South African, the F out of you in this video because I want to chime in specifically on her point of racist white South Africans moving abroad because they don't want to deal basically with the blacks and the coloreds and the Indians and the truth of it all, of what South Africa is today, right? So as a South African living abroad, I've had the pleasure of meeting a lot of other South Africans because I don't care who you are, where you are, why you move. Whenever you move abroad, you always like you miss home, right? And you always want a little bit of home, right? So we have all these groups, like South Africans in the United States and other groups, right? And then we also have focus groups in like whatever area you're in. So let's say you're in Miami, you can always search for South Africans in Miami group and you'll find it, right? And so it's where all these things come to light, whenever you have all these different people who are in this group, because we all have this one thing in common. We all immigrated, right? So we're all in a different country and we just want a little bit of home. We want people that we can talk to about everything that's happening back home. So whenever something big happens back home and somebody naturally brings it to the group, like, hey, like it could be something that isn't even political at all, but something that's trending, online, somebody would bring it into the group, and that's when you see the true colors. That's when you start to see, Uguti, okay, these people didn't just move from South Africa because they had better opportunities or whatever. No, these people moved because they hated the blacks. They hated the colored people. They just didn't want to be around that thing. And it's in the little things that they say. It's like, no, you know what? Yeah, this is exactly why I moved. Yeah, life is so much better. I'm so happy I don't have to deal with those kind of things. And it's like, oh my goodness. And then you get times where you actually meet these people in person and you get those, those fake smiles of, yay, we're all South Africans, Ubuntu, Rainbow Nation. But are we?
Now, trust me, there were interesting comments. It's like, this is a known fact, and I could see people in the comments agreeing and saying they know the people she was talking about or referring to. Now, if this isn't your favorite part, then I don't know, because for me, it is the comments, guys. Who doesn't like reading the comments? Because I do. The comment section is always lit and people there are always on fire. So let's check out some of the comments and see what my South African brothers and sisters had to say about this video. If I was you, I would be finding the best sitting position because anyway, let's take a look at some of the comments. The first one says, you say it's South African and we understood you very well. The second one reads, we have tried to make them understand how they are and they have just refused to open their eyes. This one says, we know which ones she is referring to, laugh out loud. This one says, it's the can I speak to the manager mentality, laugh out loud. Lalela Ntombi, it is everywhere, all the industries. Now remember, when I told you that when you provoke a South African, like the South Africans I'm talking about, they will come for you. Now the comment I'm about to read just proves this, and it reads, we almost gathered here but we are on your side this time. This one says, I just came to see the white South African artist crying and attacking you for the truth. Not disappointed. I'm not white South African fighting another white person for speaking out. Now you can imagine how they treat black people. What is so frustrating is this stubborn refusal to unlearn and learn. But they are stubborn when it comes to acknowledging how wrong it was, and they don't want to unlearn what they have been taught was right. I get plenty of them in the comment section. It's always very intriguing to read their deluded thoughts. Now, these are some of the comments from Black South Africans. I couldn't read all of them, but this gives us an insight of their take on this video and how they just feel about it, and experiences for some who have experienced this. Now, I honestly don't know when we are just going to say, you know what, guys, two's down, let's just stop this, enough is enough. Like, we keep on talking about the same thing over and over again. I was thinking and hoping that this would reduce, like, even a bit. If this happens, then we black people can say, okay, at least something is happening after all this talk. A lot of incidents that have pointed out such treatment, but to no avail. It's like these complaints keep falling on deaf ears, guys, because I feel the more we talk about it, the more it is increasing, and the more we get to see such things happening in different parts of the world. When are these people going to know that enough is enough? I don't know if it's just me, but I personally am tired about this whole thing. I am really tired. It's like we keep on expecting change from people who are not ready for change. I don't know what you guys think about this, but these are just my thoughts on this. I wait for that day, like when we are going to stop talking about this. I don't know when it's going to come, but we need to keep on hoping and finding new ways of stopping this, because so far the talking isn't doing much. I don't know what you think, but please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comment section. Thank you for watching, and see you in my next video as I bring you yet another interesting TikTok gist.